Alright, so today I'm riding down to Home Depot in Oxnard to get some wood. I'm meeting my grandpa down there in about an hour. And today, today's a big day. We got a lot of stuff to do. We want to put up the plywood walls, build the loft, and then do some welding for some brackets to hold the frame down to the trailer. Sarah was going to do the welding, and I was going to watch because Sarah's a good welder, but she's really sick, so she's in bed. Hi, morning. That could have been a close one. Loose dogs on the bike path. Run them over.
Mama, way back home, and I wanna be okay.
Got my deep dish Rin. It's gonna get down there extra fast, carbon speed. All right, so I don't know if you can see this, but there's a big old pod of dolphins right there. So apparently we have a pod of dolphins that pretty much lives in front of our tiny house. The other day they were surfing some waves. I flew the drone out there to try to get it, but they stopped. So one of these days I'm gonna get them catching those waves. It's pretty cool. There's like 12 of them. All right, there's the tiny house. Right there.
Hands thrown down a bottle or two. But it don't mean a thing, cause I don't got anyone to blame. I'm on my way back home, and all my ways have changed. I'm on my way back home, and I wanna be okay. I'm on my way back home, and on my ways.
Okay, so right now I got some muriatic acid. This is used for cleaning pool decks and stuff. It's 100% concentrate. And then I have my T braces, and this is galvanized. So what I need to do is take off the galvanized coating, because when you weld anything that's galvanized, it releases a really toxic gas. So this is galvanized steel, and what I need to do is take off the galvanized material so that I can weld the steel without running into any toxic fumes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip this in muriatic acid for a couple seconds, and it strips off the galvanized coating, and then it's ready for me to weld. I got a plastic container. Muriatic acid doesn't corrode plastics. I do not recommend doing this, period. I am a skilled professional, and I got my glasses, my respirator, and some gloves, and I'm gonna mix some chemicals now.
If there was a secret place that we can walk to, down a path where there is no trail.
Okay, so I got it hanging from a little copper strip so I can pull it out, and here it goes.
Down a path where there is no trail.
There it is. All clean. Here's the galvanized coating one, and here's the muriatic acid treated one. Muriatic acid treated one. See the difference? It's really shiny, nice dull color. This is what
Down
we
a path
want.
where there is no trail. And I would say I'd walk so far. And I would say I'd walk so far until the sun breaks down on ice.
All right, so muriatic acid, it dilutes with water, and so now I just cleaned it with water, and I got all my pieces ready to go. Just ran into one problem. I tried welding on the first bracket, and my welder wasn't working. I had some sparks, but I tried welding it on here. That's rust right away. So see, galvanized steel doesn't rust and I know that this isn't galvanized anymore because the water that was on it caused it to rust when the water evaporated and dried. The steel's now rusting. All right, so right now I'm gonna start working on the loft area. I just cut some pieces that are gonna fit in here and on the back side. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a 2x4 piece of wood here, 2x4 piece of wood here, and then brace it with a piece of wood across. And then our loft cross beam is gonna sit on top of that, and it's gonna run all the way across, and it's a 4x4 cut at 8 feet 3 inches. And then I'm gonna screw it in. I'm gonna build one of those so you can see, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do all of it, and then I think I'll call it a day. So here we go. All right, so here's a piece that I just made. It fits right in there just like that, and I'm gonna make a couple more for that side, and then I can run my beams across. This is 6'6", and that's the height of the living space, and then above that's the loft. So now I finished my loft bracings, and now it's time to install them.
The sun breaks down on us.
So now I installed my bracings, and now I'm gonna put the cross beams for the loft and then call it a day. It's getting kind of dark, so. All right, so when I was like 5, my grandpa was moving bricks out of his truck, and I wanted to come help him, and I didn't have shoes on that day, and the bricks were a little wet, and he told me to go put some shoes on, and I was like, no, Grandpa, no, I got it. And no, he's like, no, go put some shoes on. And I was like, no, I can do it. And so I grabbed a brick in each hand, and I pulled it out of the back of his truck, and I started walking with them. And I took like 2 steps, and the brick slipped out of my hand and crushed my toe and shattered my nail, and it was all bloody and stuff. And that was like 22 years ago. And to this day, my grandpa still tells that story. Whenever I question his stuff, he always says, remember that time I told you to put shoes on and you didn't? And I always say, yeah, Grandpa, I know. Well, this is like one of those moments. He told me not to cover the trailer because he told me not to cover the trailer with a tarp because it would collapse. And I told him, no, we should cover it for the rain and stuff, and I'll just make it so it's kind of angled and pitched so the rain flows off. So that's what I did, and it did not work out well. Pretty much caved in on itself and collapsed the entire thing. And pretty much my hard work for the past 2 weeks is done again. And I'm gonna spend the next day probably cleaning up, and I mean the next couple days. So anyways, not a good day.